Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, we're going to be doing a hypnosis session based on hunger. And the key motive for doing this particular session is in fact not a client, it's myself. And what I found is that it's actually really useful for me, rather than attempting to do self-hypnosis in my own head with inner dialogue, I actually now prefer to record a session with myself in mind and then re-listen to my own audio, if that doesn't sound really bizarre. The reason for that is that when you're listening to a recording rather than inner dialogue, you don't need the conscious control over what your inner dialogue is saying. You can really kind of go into deeper levels of trance and just listen to the words and let the words influence the subconscious in the way that you would want them. So the motive for me to lose a bit of body fat, and generally I eat quite healthy. It's, I think, a consequence of doing about 5 years worth of weight loss hypnosis with hundreds of people, is that when you're giving those suggestions to other people, a lot of them take root. So just the way I think about food and the way I think about eating, and I don't really have too many emotional eating triggers anymore, means that generally I'm quite healthy. But part of my motive is that I do like to look a bit more toned, more kind of lean over the summer months. And I'm actually speaking at the world's biggest hypnosis conference at the end of this month, so in about 3 weeks' time, and it's in Las Vegas. And generally, obviously Las Vegas is very hot place, lots of swimming pools outside the hotels and that kind of stuff. So it's just a motive for me to lose a bit of weight. And typically, my approach to weight loss is, first of all, I have a belief system that whenever I want to lose weight, I can lose weight. And in fact, I will lose weight. And that's quite a helpful belief system, because there's no question in my mind as to whether or not I can get leaner and trim. It's just that I will. And that's the opposite, in my experience, of how a lot of people think about weight loss. They actually think the opposite. They want to lose weight, but don't really believe that they can. Whereas mine's the opposite. A lot of the time I don't even think about weight, but when I do, I have an absolute conviction that I will lose the weight. And generally for the last 2 weeks, I've been doing something called intermittent fasting. So it basically means I don't eat breakfast, and generally I eat between about midday and 8 p.m. So there's a window of 8 hours, and I keep my eating within that period, and then that gives my body 16 hours outside of that to burn fat. And what I've been doing to accelerate the speed at which I lose weight without slowing down my metabolism is not only eating in that window, but eating foods that are very low in sugar, virtually no processed foods. Generally, my main meal that I have when I'm working is brown rice and tuna. So again, very low sugar levels in that. Even the carbs of the rice is whole grain rather than refined. But generally, because I'm reducing my number of calories that I'm eating, hunger tends to be there. So what I thought I would do in this particular session for myself is have suggestions as to what hunger actually means. And a few of them I kind of believe anyway, but equally, like right now as I record this, it's 11 a.m., so I haven't eaten anything for about 15 hours. And therefore, I know that I'm feeling hungry. That doesn't mean I'm going to eat until about an hour's time. But I thought this session would be useful, not just for me, but for anyone that's losing weight and feeling like hunger is the key thing getting in the way of them making good choices. So if that sounds like you, then enjoy this session. If it feels like you would like to lose weight and you feel that a hypnotherapist like myself could help, what I would say is that I'm one of the few hypnotherapists that have specialized in weight loss hypnotherapy for a while. You can check out my website, hypnoslimming.com. I've been doing this for a while. And also, it's something, I practice what I preach. I generally have the ability to get to the weight that I want and maintain it. And whenever I need a boost, I kind of do that. So that might be useful. If you're interested in working with me directly, there will be a link nearby to this recording where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call. So certainly consider that. But for now, just listen to this, because changing how you think about hunger might be enough to keep you on your journey to get to whatever your particular goal is when it comes to body shape. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow feelings of any worry, tension or stress to leave your body in your outward breath. So much so that with each and every breath, allow yourself to go deeper and deeper into tranquil feelings of deep relaxation, knowing that the more relaxed you go, the better able I am to influence parts of your subconscious that you don't normally have control over. There are certain things that just operate all by themselves. You don't think about blinking. You don't think about your heart beating too fast or too slow. You don't think about your digestion. So much of what happens in your body is just happening all by itself. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice that you can relax any tension around your neck or your shoulders. Scan your face for any echoes of tension around your eyes, cheeks, jaw. And if you notice any, on the next outward breath, just release that tension. Now. That's right. Because the more that tension is released, the more you're able to deeply relax. And I want you to entertain the idea that your ability to go into trance is directly proportionate to your body's ability to just let go now. And as your body relaxes, your mind starts to access a different state. A state of thinking that can influence things that you can't normally influence. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine somewhere relaxing for you, perhaps a beach, a private beach, a perfect beach, a paradise beach that your imagination already knows what it looks like, and just imagine going to that place now. Just teleport yourself within your own imagination there to that beach. Blue skies, warm sun. That's it. Hear the gentle breaking of the waves. And get a sense that you're able to go even deeper relaxed now. There's something about a beach. The smell of the sea air, gentle breeze. The grains of sand between your toes, there's something about that can just take you deeper and deeper, relaxed. And I want you to imagine somewhere on that beach is the perfect place to lie down. And maybe there's a blanket or a chair, it doesn't matter what it is, just allow your imagination to fill in the gaps and create whatever will enable you to really deeply relax there on that beach. As you look out, I want you to entertain the idea that as your body relaxes, your mind becomes more suggestible to words that could have a positive impact on your present and your future. I want you to notice that any sensation is temporary. When you felt pain, it didn't last forever. When you felt determined or focused, it was for that moment in time. So even if you were to feel sensations like hunger, they're temporary, just as everything is. And as you relax on that beach, you already know that your body has an incredible ability to adapt, to change. Your body can change depending on things that occur, and as you make changes, your body adapts to those changes. I want you to entertain an idea that if you ate nothing for a week, what would happen for the first few hours is that your body would just use the energy stored in sugars in your blood known as glycogen, and you probably wouldn't even feel hungry. And then, as the hours extend, the sugar in your blood would start to deplete, and that low blood sugar would give you a sensation that you could perceive as hunger because your energy levels would be lower. But all that's really happening at that point is you're using up the most immediate energy reserves. But in the same way that a camel can store water in its humps, it needs the absence of water to be able to activate the ability to take water from the reserves of its humps to survive. So as that blood sugar level depletes, you might notice a different sensation, and that is your stomach starts to contract. Your stomach is a muscle that is stretchy. If you ate lots of food, your stomach would get bigger, and if you didn't, it would start to get smaller. It would contract in size, and perhaps after a few hours of not eating, your stomach would start to contract, and that could feel like hunger for you. But it's just your stomach adapting to less quantities of food. And maybe after a day, maybe 2 days of not eating, your body is used to perhaps having meals or food at certain times of the day, and those triggers of time or energy levels ebbing and flowing like the waves in the sea could give you a sense of expectation that you should be eating right now, and because there is no food, the absence of that could feel like hunger. After about 48 hours, your body has this unique ability that without food, your body starts spring cleaning. I want you to create an image in your mind of what it would be like for your body to start feeding on dead cells because of the absence of food before it starts tapping into body fat. It might go around your body and just say, what are all the things that we don't need anyway? This process known as autophagy has this unique ability to make you healthier. Digesting food takes so much energy, and your body now has that energy to start spring cleaning your body, and I want you to use whatever metaphor comes to mind. An army of tiny robots. A crew of busy cleaners. Or perhaps you can imagine cells that have the ability to feast on other dead cells. Whatever is relevant and appropriate to you, that's how you imagine this spring cleaning process taking place, that actually by not eating, you're becoming healthier, more efficient. That thorough spring clean is happening inside your body, and then because your blood sugar has been so low for a while now, I want you to picture a switch being flipped inside your body that starts to activate your body's ability to notice that energy is stored in body fat, like an invisibility cloak is being lifted, like a hybrid car that has both petrol or gas as well as battery energy. It can't use both energy sources at the same time. So in the same way that a Tesla can switch from certain energy sources, or a hybrid car can go from petrol at one point to battery powered at another, I want you to imagine that your body needed the absence of the regular amount of food to now switch to notice that you have tens of thousands of calories stored in your body in your own personal power bank. That your body fat is in fact an emergency generator of energy. And throughout this, perhaps you would feel sensations of hunger. But what if hunger is necessary for this adaptation to take place? I want you to get a sense that if you were to continue eating just as you were before, nothing would change. You wouldn't be hungry, but nothing would change, and surely change is what you're looking for. So as you go on this journey of your body starting to use your body fat as an energy reserve, each and every time you feel hungry, you could ask yourself the question, am I hungry? Or is my stomach just contracting, getting smaller, getting prepared for future smaller portions of food? You accept the suggestion that your stomach is adapting, getting smaller. You don't need a gastric band. Your stomach can get smaller all by itself just by eating less, smaller portions. Not eating for a while, the stomach shrinks and gets smaller. As you eat less in your stomach, there's less food in your digestive system, your intestines. So am I hungry, or are my intestines just starting to empty? Your body's getting used to having less energy that is instantly available. So that feeling of hunger could just mean that your body is adapting, adjusting to preparing to start taking energy from that body fat. Am I hungry, or is my blood just getting depleted of sugar? Am I hungry, or am I just tired because there's less energy in my body? Am I hungry, or is my body just adapting to less food? Am I hungry, or am I just thirsty? It's quite common for the human body to assume that it needs food when actually it just needs hydration to help with that internal spring cleaning, getting rid of waste and toxins. That's right. What if hunger is the signal for my body to take energy from my body fat? If someone right now offered you the ability to be at your ideal body weight, but the price was hunger, would you pay it? Would you be happy to experience hunger if it meant that you could arrive at the ideal weight for you with all the health benefits, confidence, higher self-esteem? Would you pay the price of the fleeting, temporary sensation of hunger that ebbs and flows, that isn't even constant? Hunger is not like the pain of an injury, a severe migraine. Yeah, occasionally there's the odd headache as your body adjusts to a low sugar environment, but this isn't real pain. This is mild discomfort and is evidence that your body is adapting, changing to be able to use the energy you've already got there in your body fat. When you're hungry, your body is better able to repair the body, those perhaps things that your body couldn't do when you're overwhelming it with too much food. It can now use that time, that energy to heal your body in the way that it already wants to. When you're feeling that hunger, what if I was to have a large glass of water and then check if I'm still hungry 30 minutes later? And quite often you would forget to even check because the hunger just isn't there anymore. And I want you to notice that while you've been relaxed on this beach, we're talking about hunger. And yet when you try and think back to the times in the past where you felt hungry, isn't it difficult to do so? You can feel hunger in the present, but feeling hungry is a natural sensation that can increase your body's ability to smell. Hunger is the trigger that means that when you eat, food tastes better than ever before. Hunger is necessary to train your body to start feeding on body fat. Hunger is necessary for your stomach to shrink and get smaller, for your body to spring clean. Hunger is just a temporary sensation as your body adapts to a new way of eating. And what is hunger now won't be hunger tomorrow, unless in this psychological game of chicken, the only way you can lose here is if you feel hungry, you start to believe that you must eat. But isn't that what led you to gain all the weight to begin with? From this point forwards, what if you tried to feel hungry, knowing that you can handle it? That feeling hungry is no big deal. It's no big deal for you because you've got the body fat reserves to enable your body to get the energy in an alternative way. The only real reason that hunger is a problem is if you don't have the body fat reserves in your emergency fuel tank. And there are people in the world that are in that situation, that don't have enough food and also don't have enough stored body fat to allow the body to adapt in that way. But that isn't you. The fact that you want to lose weight means that you have excess energy stored in your body. And from this point forwards, hunger is a clue that you're doing the right type of things. Hunger means that you've had too much sugar in the past, too much refined carbohydrates. And by eating less sugar and less carbohydrates, you will have less hunger in your future as your body starts to adapt and starts to feed on your stored body fat reserves, meaning that hunger in the present means a leaner, slimmer version of you in the future. And one final thought is that the worst time to eat is immediately before you sleep. So therefore, if you're hungry when you go to sleep, it's the best possible way to burn fat while you're sleeping. And then you realize all of this is just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, and actually, you're no longer on the beach. You're listening to my voice firmly in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, motivated, feeling that you're comfortable with hunger, knowing that it's just a signal that your body is adapting, enabling the future version of you to be the future version of you that you want. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.